What's up YouTube? It's Afroteasegamer here. Welcome to the BioShock Collection Museum. This episode's a little bit different. It's not going to be a full episode, probably about 5-10 minutes maybe, depending how big it is. I haven't actually been around it myself, so um, we're going to just get straight into it and have a look. Basically, the museum is, as it says there, orphaned concepts, a guided tour of ideas that irrational games discarded or reworked heavily during the making of the original BioShock. And I thought that is pretty cool, to be honest. So on the right here, we've got some big daddies going on. They look pretty cool, don't they? Look, got like some kind of jackhammer there. Look, it's definitely interesting to. They're like cannons. Look, fire. Bloody hell, fire cannons out of them. Look, it's definitely interesting to see the evolution of the game and actually what they actually went with in the end. What does that? What's that? I'm too sure what that is. Bloody hell, gatherer. Look at them bloody things. Looks like something off Dark Souls 3, doesn't it? That. Now I don't know whether they appear in the actual game. Oh, not as much as a cut concept as an Easter egg for observant museum visitors. These sea creatures can be seen swimming past the player's view during the bathysphere ride down to Rapture and BioShock's opening sequence. It does come up there. Look. This original model for the bouncer type of the Big Daddy featured a flat-headed drill at the end of each arm. The Big Daddies were envisioned as the builders of Rapture, with weapons modified from tools they would have used in its construction. When the Gatherers were reimagined as Little Sisters, one of the bouncer's drills was changed to a gloved hand so that two characters could interact with each other. That's pretty cool. So, let's have a look what this says. Traditional artists tried to envisage how an underwater city would actually function in this early conceptual work of Rapture. That is so weird. So they would have been the Little Sisters, basically, or the Gatherers as you call them. It may be hard to imagine that this creature, whose job it was to reclaim Adam from corpses around Rapture, it was the earliest iteration of the idea, the Little Sister. Since the Gatherer generated absolutely no sympathy from players, the team experimented with concepts for featuring a number of animals, including the infamous dog in a wheelchair, and later a grotesque miniature humanoid. Finally, a concept sketch of a deformed child inspired the Eureka moment, responsible for the Little Sisters. That's awesome. Just drop down there. Let's go and have a look over here. I'm not going to read every single one because it's whoa, what the hell is that thing, man? Ranged aggressor. The first splicer that Irrational created for BioShock Stitchy was used in many early concept demos and was functionally in-game with kinematics, hit reactions and voiceover. He wasn't a good model. Bloody hell. I see none of these are actually used, are they? Look. Some of the first sketches used, look. That's so weird. Don't think no. Before solidifying the fiction around Adam, Irrational experimented with the idea of it being an external injected substance. Here you can see us playing around with Adam being mechanically injected. That's pretty cool. So he's got like an injection system going through his body into his brain. It's not too... Let's have a look at this. Early Splicer concept art as well. That's Big Daddy, isn't he? Big Daddy. These are early concepts for the rosy type of Big Daddy who, like the bouncer, was envisioned as a construction worker who had been repurposed as a protector for the gatherers. There's some more there as well. Look, Big Daddies. It's so cool to see. What the fuck is that? The grey elephantine splicer was an early Grenadier from the same period of development as Stitchy and Hooker. He was a guy who spliced to carry around giant grenades and throw them at you. Bloody hell. Glad he didn't make it into the game. The location depicted here was built for the Vision demo of BioShock, a small level demonstrating several of the key elements of the game, such as the Big Daddies and Gatherers. So cool how it all comes together. This area appears in Neptune's bounty level of BioShock, but the bodies floating in the ocean were cut late in development when their cast shadows proved too distracting from the action in the room. Ah, interesting. This splicer was dubbed the Hooker because of her weapon of choice. This concept evolved into the Spider Splicer when it was decided that splicer models could fill any behavior role, and the Hooker model later became the Baby Jane Splicer. Fucking creepy, man. Creepy shit. Right, let's head up here. Some more level concepts here. It's an early concept depicting a Big Daddy bursting through a wall, which inspired the audio log in the Big Daddy training grounds area about a rogue Big Daddy. The player then encountered him at the end of the level. This is a concept sketch depicting what would later become a submarine bay, an area which housed an important scene for Atlas. So we already know that, don't we? Maybe I shouldn't really be doing this, being as I'm like only probably like 8 parts into this story, but the early concept for Sander Cohen's Fleet Hall was created after level building had begun, when the designers found they were having difficulty conceptualizing the theatre space. It was one of the earliest spaces built for BioShock, and many of the assets used in this museum came from that area. It's pretty cool. This was the first image that really captured all the visual elements that made BioShock BioShock. A large view of the ocean, the aquatic lighting scene, and the elegant Art Deco design elements. Without this image, BioShock would have been a radically different beast. That is, isn't it? That's what kind of makes BioShock. Every time I enter BioShock's world, I feel like I'm underwater. I feel like it's kind of claustrophobic, and it works so well. Bloody hell, look at him. That's interesting. Wonder what this one is. This character, derisively called Yamhand around Irrational Games, was the poster child of the conceptual phase that preceded the decision to go with human enemies. Oh. I'd point out the drawings behind the model. You can see the top one got built, but the other two informed the design as well, as we trended more towards humanoids. The Scooby monsters got goofier and less scary. Whoa, what's that there? This was one of the several paintings that tried to portray the most important elements of Rapture at once. These images would help define the ruined underwater Art Deco aesthetic that the team was attempting to capture. Man, this is a cool little add-on. I don't remember seeing this in the first one. Early creature concepts again. These were some of the earliest pieces done for BioShock, from back when Irrational was still working on SWAT 4. The only concrete ideas at that point were an undersea city and biological experimentation, so early concept focus on these themes. It's weird, isn't it, how they were going to have those in? I don't think it would have worked as well. And look at that, man. I just can't see. You just can't see that in BioShock. What the hell is that? This was a fall protector concept originally created with an organic slug attached to it. A model was started but never completed as the team narrowed their focus to 3 and finally just 2 Big Daddy types. So weird. See, that's not even a humanoid either, is it? This character is essentially the missing link between the grotesque early designs and the human splicers that appeared in BioShock. This is the last bad model we did before moving on to what actually went into the shipping game. After playing with him for a while, we just said, why don't we use humans instead? I always thought of these as Scooby-Doo monsters because they were too human to invoke empathy. Yeah, I think they definitely made the right decision with that one. And that's it, I think, for the museum. We've had a look around everywhere, I think, now. Not too big, but it gives you an idea of what kind of the concepts behind, the actual shipping game that came out and how many, the ideas that basically became before it. So it's just pretty cool, pretty cool little add-on basically. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the little tour around the museum. So I hope you can join me on my Let's Play series on my channel. Don't forget to check it out and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. So catch you guys soon. Cheers.